What's going on, YouTube? Claic Yuzolt back again with another Final Fantasy Brave Exvius video, and the day has finally come. I've always wished for someone to pull out that 11 rainbow summon, and now everybody's gonna get to do it for 10,000 lapis. And then we also have all the Black Friday bundle other deals. We have Kefka coming. We have the Black Friday units with a really questionable suspect banner. But we're gonna get on all of that today, so let's get into it. This video is sponsored by Netmarble and their new mobile game, King of Fighters All-Star. King of Fighters All-Star is the perfect mix between hero collector and fighting game button mashing fun. You guys can see the graphics here. You pick your fighter, you go in, you combo, they have different special abilities, and the graphics and the gameplay are fluid and beautiful. You can see there's a ton of fighters to collect through the entire King of Fighters franchise, along with the fact that, guys, they're gonna have a Tekken collab. That's right, big bad boy Tekken is teaming up with King of Fighters here, and you got a ton of characters you can get from the Tekken collab. You got Jin, Ling, Armor King, which is my favorite, by the way. I'm definitely getting him to play with him. Kazuya, Heihachi, and Paul Phoenix are all coming to the game, and to get you guys started, new accounts are going to be able to choose either a 5-star Jin from Tekken, or you guys can choose a 5-star Iori from King of Fighters. So you guys are going to be able to get started right off the gate. There's going to be Tekken dungeons, Tekken events. That's actually where you get Armor King is from the event, so make sure you farm that. With these graphics, these login bonuses, there's no reason not to try it today. Click the link in the description below to get started in King of Fighters All-Stars. Alright guys, so getting started off strong is an amazing deal, and I'll tell you why. It's the 7-star resummon, which what this is going to be, I think it's going to be around 50 bucks, a little bit less than that. The official price was on Facebook. I don't think they include it here, but they did show it on Facebook. We all thought it was going to be $100. So for it to be $50 is absolutely insane to me. We get a 9+1+1 summon that guarantees one of those units to be a 7-star unit, meaning you automatically get that unit at 7-star, and not only that, we get an STMR Moogle 100% for that unit. So you're not only getting a new 7-star unit, or hopefully you get a new one because you're going to be re-rolling, you also get a 100% STMR Moogle, so you just get an STMR out of that as well. On top of that, you do get a whole other bunch of, pulls at chances of other rainbows, and you can re-roll it, meaning that you can, if you don't like that roll, guess what? Click the button, it rolls it again. You get random other units, you get a random other 7-star unit, and they're in the refined pool. Not only that, they also broke it up into 3 different banners. We have support, we have attack, and we have magic. So you can kind of pick, and even more so, specify what you're looking for with that 7-star base unit. I think it's a great deal. Again, we all thought, Lich, Bongo, and I, sitting there at that live stream, it was gonna be $100, and then we were like, still seems pretty good, but a little bit pricey. They came out and said it's like 50 bucks, which is absolutely insane. I know a lot of people don't spend money on the game, but for the people that do, this is fantastic. Am I gonna be doing it? Yes, I am. I'm gonna be going on the support as long as King Edgar is there. I still don't even have one King Edgar, and I've always wanted his STMR. This is my chance to go for it. I feel like a lot of people are gonna be re-rolling a little bit too much, maybe getting too greedy, but it's all going to be a part of the fun, and I wish you guys the best of luck if you go for this. I think it was a great thing for them to do for us. Next up, they talk about the Lord of Shadows trial boss we're going to have to fight with the Dragon Quest collab part 2. You're going to be able to go in there and do a lot of stuff. Chance of removing some status effects or status boosts from all enemies. We'll have to look into that a little bit more. That doesn't seem like something I want to be dealing with, but hey, maybe it will be. Vault of Hidden Treasures, absolutely my favorite. Easy, lazy man's way to getting good stuff. Love this. Glad to see it's coming back, so make sure you guys do that every day from the 28th to the 11th. It's going to be a great, I love that one. Then we have, finally, the series boss battles against Kefka. And Kefka looking like a beast out here. You guys are going to want a human killer, obviously. Kefka has some pretty nasty thresholds at like 80%, 60%, and 40%, where he will use a move that puts everybody to 1 HP and then do non-provocable 500 damage to random people. So pretty much killing them. I think 3 of them, he'll kill them. And I think it's based off of like the highest attack. So it's not random. It's like based off the highest attack. And the next one's based off of something else. The way to get around this, just giving you some quick tips, is you want to have barrier up, right? Have barrier and then have a lot of spirit and defense to be able to make it through that, the attacks, because he will apply a dot that will apply damage also, so you want to make sure you have that defense and stuff to make it through that. He hard locks at 50%, and once you get him around the 40% threshold like we just talked about, you really want to find some bursty damage. Bursty damage is a great you can do here. King Rain, Bartz, people like that, they're going to be able to come in here, and you can even push past thresholds and force him to not even do multiple, like 80 and 60. If you push him all the way to 60, he skips 80. If you can somehow get him from 81% to 50%, he skips all of the other ones that he was going to do, the 80 and 60%. So it's really something you guys want to look into trying and doing. We, weirdly enough, we are getting, it's not weird, I guess, we are getting some lapis rewards. 1,000 lapis isn't nothing to shake a stick at, so I'm excited about that. You can see that the Final Fantasy
There he is, baby. There it is. I'm getting him on that banner, dude. You can see that we are getting a boost to the Final Fantasy VI. If anybody goes in there and beats it with this formation, kudos to you, man. You're insane. Moving on down, there is this, what I was talking about at the beginning of the video for the clickbaity, all Rainbow 11 summon, limited to 1 time per player, and it is 10,000 lapis. You get to get every single pool is a rainbow. You can see that the refined pool is a part of it, so we are using the new pool of units that they've been touting on every banner at this point. Here's the problem. Only certain units added to the game prior to November 21st, meaning the new Black Friday characters will not be in this summon. That's just a tiny problem. If you're out there, you have 10,000 lapis and you're ready to go and you just want to get 11 rainbows and start hyping up some of those new STMRs or maybe 7 stars you want to get, this is absolutely awesome, and I love that it's not locked behind a cash bundle, because we are getting a lot of cash bundles, not even just the one we just showed with the re-rolling. There are going to be other ones as well, which is awesome. You know, give people who want to spend on the game a little bit of a great deal. Hopefully they're awesome. They did look pretty good at the live stream, but this is a chance for people who don't spend, who don't have the money, or don't want to spend on the game, to get something awesome on Black Friday, and it's pretty sweet. So I'm excited to see what you guys get from this. Again, it's not coming till Monday though, so it's coming in Monday, I guess, kind of like a Cyber Monday kind of thing going on with that. When does this banner roll out? End of maintenance is Thursday, so we're definitely doing this on Thursday. Thanksgiving, baby. It's okay. I'll do a little bit of a, maybe I'll just do a YouTube video doing that pull with you guys and show my rerolls and see what I get. That'd be kind of fun. Also, YouTube's been much better than me than my Twitch streams as of late, so thank you guys here on YouTube. We have a half-price energy event going on. You guys can catch up on all your trials that you need to be doing, and also on your storyline. So pretty much your energy is going much farther between the 28th and the 11th of December. So get out there, get grinding, get caught up on everything you need to get caught up on. We're going to have a friend point trust Moogle summon. You guys do love when they do that. They did mention at the live stream there should be soon the fusion uprate. We haven't had one of those in I think it's almost a year or over. Hopefully that comes soon, they said. They're going to talk about what we're getting, essentially slowly dripping us the rewards from the New York live stream login bonuses. You guys are going to be able to get all these rewards. You know, they drip them in just to make sure you're logging in every day. So they want you logging into their game so they can get better stats. Then we have the New York live stream free 10+1 summon, which is also happening after maintenance. Great. I love getting free 10+1 summons, even though they're always more often than not terrible for me. I still really enjoy them. And remember, guys, now the way maintenance works, which is happening on Wednesday, Thursday, all of this stuff should be dropping. Speaking of all the stuff that should be dropping, we're talking about the sexy, the amazingly drawn, fan favorite. I gotta say, these are fan favorite units. I know a lot of people love these units. We have Agent Olive, Mastermind Xon, and then as we move down, we have Operative Zyrus and Dr. Aiden. And these are units that people like a lot. The thing that people are not gonna like a lot with these units is the step-up banner. Okay, we're going to go over why that is in a minute. First off, I want to say these units are not limited. You're totally good. You do not have to worry about, you know, not being able to UOC one of their prisms, or you know, not being able to get them in the future. You know, I only got one and I don't want to use UOC. You could get them off banner as well later on. They are not limited, and they're going to split it up. See, after maintenance, you can go for a banner that has boost to Agent Olive and Mastermind Xon, and then when it comes down to December 2nd, that's when Cyrus and Aiden are going to have their buffed up on their step-up summon right here. So there's a lot I want to cover on this banner, so let's go ahead and start doing that now. First off, it is a weird step-up summon. We do have the refined pool. It should be the 5% rate as we've come to expect now. Limited to 10 per player, but it is 9K for a lap, right? So 9K for 2 steps. No guaranteed one of the banner units, but you do get these little tiny, like 5-star turn-in tickets. If you turn in 4 of them, you get a 20% chance at one of these 2. You turn in 8 of them, you get one of these 2 guaranteed. So 50-50 shot. If you turn in 16 of them in the fine print down here, you guys are going to get yourself your pick of one of the 2. Now, here's the problem. When you go through a normal step-up... No, wait. Before we go to the problems, you get a guaranteed rainbow on both of these, okay? You get a guaranteed rainbow for 4K and a guaranteed rainbow for 5K. So when you end up spending what you need, essentially, to be able to get a featured unit, I think it's like 36,000 lapis, you're going to end up with 9 rainbows. Whereas with the other kind of normal banner we would do, 25K would get you 2 rainbows, right? So... You know, that's the big difference here. You're spending a little bit more lapis for the extra random rainbows. Now, we don't know, and we're probably, if we go by the way FFBE has been, these aren't going to have a rate up or much of a rate up at all for these 2 units. So what this banner does is provide a lot more random rainbows, which is great for newer players, up-and-coming players, to be able to reroll on, especially that 11 summon pool. That gives you 11 rainbows. Can you imagine the rerolls on that bad boy? Yeah, so it gives you a chance to come in here and get a lot of rainbows for somebody that maybe doesn't have a lot of 5-star bases. The problem is for veteran players, and I know people don't like me using the word veteran, whales, dolphins, it doesn't matter to me. You guys, at least I think, the players love, and I do too, to target what our lapis is going to hit. So this compared to a normal 25k, essentially once we get to 50k, so we do 2 laps with the 25k, we end up hitting a point where we get 2 of these random units, right? 4 rainbows total, and we get to buy a prism, because almost all the banners coming out now, once you do 2 laps, you get enough to buy one of their prisms. So you essentially are going to make one of them 7-star. And if you get unlucky and you don't get like double olive, let's say you want double olive, but you get 1 olive, you can make one of them 7-star. If you get doubles on and you wanted an olive, you're kind of messed up right there, right? And that's the worst luck that you can have. You can obviously pull these units somewhere else, I think. Never happens to me anymore. Anyway, and with this banner, you have to spend 70k. If you spend 70k, that's like the maximum, like, where you're going to hit. You can get 16 of these tickets. You can pick one of them, and you get all these different rainbows, but you can't guarantee that you're going to get a 7-star of one of these units, right? You only get to pick for 16. It's a 5-star version of the unit. If that was a 7-star version of the unit, it would make more sense. But what we're missing out on here is we do get a lot more random rainbows. So if you love that, that's great. But if you want to target, if you really want olive, if you really want Xon, these fan favorite units, this banner's just not it. If you get unlucky, right? If you get unlucky and you can't pull it off. Whereas for 50k lapis on the old step ups, the way they always used to be, you could kind of at least guarantee 1 7-star. With this way, if you get super unlucky, it's not guaranteed, okay? The other way is at 70k, you could just use 2 of these times 8s, featured guaranteed 5-star tickets, and then you could get, 50-50 chance twice, and then maybe you get a 7-star. But again, the difference between 50k lapis spent, and we're talking about only targeting the banner units, and the 70k or whatever lapis spent to make sure you get 16 of these bad boys is, one of them you get that prism at the end, plus 2 banner units, and this one you only get either 1 guaranteed that you want or 2 banner units. Either way, you're missing that prism. So that's why I don't really like these step-up summons. I actually laughed really hard when I first read them, but I probably should open my mind a little bit more to maybe the newer players. I tend to think that there aren't a lot of newer players anymore, but that's probably just bad on my part. This is great for newer players and players looking for random rainbows and want that value for their lapis of random rainbows. If they love it, you're good to go. It does have the refined pool, but I think people are valuing it a little bit too much. Now, let's talk about the actual units, okay? Because we didn't talk about them before. They are bringing something amazing to the game, Magnus Abilities. And this is a whole new mechanic to the game, which is going to be incredible. You can only use these abilities a certain amount of times per battle, and Olive's one is a one-time use. She blows herself up, and she does 150 times modifier. At least that's what they said at the live stream. That is a massive amount of damage. You can only do once per battle, but it could help you push a threshold. Finish off Kefka, for example. You really don't want to be messing around with Kefka after 40, 30%. Definitely 30%. So you get him to 31, you chain it up, you have Olive blow up, boom! It's that one big use that you can use. Looking at the Super Trust Master Rewards and Trust Master Rewards, we are going to go through them. I gave them a harsh review on my stream, but I've sat and thought about it. You guys really got to me. I need to stop thinking of these Trust Mastery Rewards and Super Trust Mastery Rewards as, should you pull for 4 of them to get, 4 olives to get this, and more so, if just analyze the item and then say if you should be pulling for it. So the item can be good and not be worth using an STMR and pulling for 4 olives. So that's what we're gonna get into. Black Sparky. Sparky's back, dude. She spray painted it black. Attack 174, 2-handed weapon, enable customized model, boost attack when equipped with a gun, which, again, I just feel like that should just be boost attack because it is a gun when you have it on, and boost LB damage. So we're going to come in here. I think this is great for Olive. People are saying this is going to be great for Regina as well, and don't get me wrong, I think that's awesome, but for me, it's hard for me. Again, that's for you guys out there. If you guys are going to have fun with your Regina, throw this one, start blowing stuff up with this big giant gun, that's great. But I just feel like if I just pulled 4 Agent Olive, I'm probably going to be using Agent Olive. Now, we don't know how strong she's going to be. If that's like that one big, yippee, 150 times modifier is all she can do. I highly doubt it, but it could be. Looking at her Trust Master Reward, Advanced Weaponry, boost equipment attack when single wielding is equipped in both hands, so true double hand, and LB gauge every turn. So this is going to be a material that you guys can have for your true double hand LB building units that you really want to be using their LB with. Even somebody like... King Rain could use this. I am not, and I know people love for me to do it, or they think I should do it. I don't like going over the abilities, especially when they're like doing a lot of damage, because we don't know what the modifiers are. So I could read this and be like, do unmitigated damage to 6 enemies and do a backflip. But it doesn't really fucking matter to us, right? Because it doesn't matter. It's because we don't know the numbers. Does that make sense? So I don't really go over those too much. Mastermind Xon's coming into the house here, looking great. I love the way these units look. Super Trust Master Reward, Crimson Butterfly, attack 165, enable float like a butterfly, boost chance of evading some physical attacks, boost LB gauge fill rate, and you can dual wield if you have this one. It gives the unit dual wield. Now, move the heck out of the way, locks STMR is what it looks like, right? But I do believe this is going to have a lower evading chance. Cooley was talking about that. We don't know. We're probably looking at 20% evading chance on these. Boosting up your LB fill rate, always great. It has a high attack step, but here's the problem I have with it. Most anyone you're going to be using true dual wield with, meaning you want to dual wield with that unit, they're already going to have dual wield in their kit. It just seems like every one of them has it. So this last part where it gives you guys dual wield, there are going to be uses for it, don't get me wrong. Like maybe you want to put this on a tank and you want them to have 2 weapons. Maybe you have the lock, you have this, and you have the lock STMR. And you put it on a tank, give them dual wield, and you're just going ham with these dagger STMRs to give them evade. That's not a bad option. You miss out on the shield, but most units are going to have that. So that's why I marked this down a little bit. Is it good? Yes. Is it worthy of this or Olive's STMR worthy of a STMR Moogle? Unless you're really going to use Olive or you want to try out some crazy build with your tanks, I really don't think so. I think there are other units out there, especially with these not being limited, that the STMR Moogle is going to be used for. Untraceable Phone, honestly, I don't like this at all, but maybe I got to give it a little bit more time. Defensive Spirit plus 30, MP and HP plus 15%. Enable Bounty Call and Libra, so you can Libra, but what? Boost drop rate of items and rare items from enemies and decreased chance of being targeted. I just don't think these stats and these passives warrant to be used ever, like on accessories, unless you're a new player who doesn't have anything. Accessories are so important on a lot of units. I just don't feel like this is getting put on anyone. Except for, I guess, if you really need his TMR ability, maybe you put it on Mastermind Xon. Now, Grand Waylay, that's going to be an AoE steal. We love that, right? We love using Waylay and raids and things like that. This is going to be an AoE version you guys can use maybe in King Mog events or whatever if they end up having Gil. The thing about Xon has always been he has the ability to take the enemy's buffs and put them on his team, right? And he's always had some things holding him back, which we learned about, like mitigating damage. If an enemy has 50% damage mitigation, you couldn't do that, etc. He is going to have this new ability where he takes Apply Caster's boost to attack, defense, magic, and spirit elemental resist, LB fill rate, resist to status elements reduction, stop, and charm resist, physical damage, physical and magic damage against all monsters, so elements added to physical attacks, all that stuff. Put it on everybody with an auto revive, okay? So it's like as long as he has all this stuff on him, he can apply it to everybody else. Apply one ally's boosted elemental resist and added element to physical attacks to caster. So he has the ability to kind of like, oh, it looks like I built my CG Charlotte to be extremely resist to all elements. Let me go ahead and snatch that, put it on myself, and then project that to everybody else. So everybody else has like 200% to all elements. That sounds like really cool stuff. It sounds like a really awesome unit. Again, he is going to have a Magnus ability as well, but we have to see more of what this actually means. See it in practice before it seems really hype, right? But you just got to be careful. You got to more analyze it when the data mine comes out, which will be happening Wednesday night. Next up, we have Dr. Aiden, which is going to be a healer type, support type unit. Actually, by support type unit, I mean tank. They're trying to make Dr. Aiden a tank. Medical staff, attack 12, defense 6, spirit 155, HP 15%. Enable seductive, fill LB gauge every turn. Honestly, I have so many, there are so many different STMR staffs out there that do something similar to this, have the same amount of stats, something like that. And for me, I'm overlooking it. Maybe for you, you really want this, but there are all kinds of other options. Like all the healers have some nice staff you can have on you. So not something's too original or too, I gotta have it. And you definitely don't want to use an STMR Moogle on this. Trustmaster Reward, the best TMR on the banner in my opinion, rivaled by Cyrus. Aiden's Trench Coat, defense 25, spirit 65. You're gonna get this camouflage for Aiden only, where it's going to get MP every turn, and then Dark Disguise, nullify all status elements. So now you're opening yourself up to having a chest piece on you that has, pretty high spirit, a little bit lackluster defense, but giving you guys status elements to resist, right? Opening up maybe a headgear, which I think the headgear is, that's kind of where you want to be with CG Fina, but Fina's TMR, and then, opening up an accessory slot or a materia slot here to make your units that much stronger. The only thing I don't like about it, guys, and I am going to give it a little critique, is that it doesn't have any elements of resist, which kind of sucks. But other than that, it's phenomenal, especially for, like, anybody can use this bad boy. So that's why I like it. It's very flexible. It can be used on a lot of units. It's not like pigeonholed into like what this dagger and that gun is going to be. Very useful for everyone. Moving on down. Wait, did I even discuss? Yeah, I did. The Trustmaster Ward is untraceable phone. I couldn't even remember it because it's so terrible. Moving on down through Aiden again. He's going to be a type of healer. Looks like he's putting barrier. Hopefully he has mitigation and all this kind. And he also has temporarily increased chance of being targeted. Caster can evade some physical attacks for 20 times. So it looks like he may. This unit right here is so unique. If he can fill the role of physical single target tank evade unit and healer support, it's going to be absolutely bonkers. Okay, we've never seen something like that to the full extent of this. Like, I'm hoping that he is 100% like he's got to be really good in all those categories. He can't just be okay, mediocre, or I'll just go right back to using Galuf and then Alphonse Elric in the future. So he's got to be really great, but he has a lot of potential in my opinion. Once we see the data mine, he looks awesome. And then we have my boy Cyrus. I've always had a soft spot in my heart for Cyrus. He's going to be a magic damage dealer. Debuffer, it looks like. They have the debuffer thing here. His STMR is holographic trans receiver, which I think is actually one of the best STMRs on this banner. Magic 175, attack 20, spirit 20, enable Draco Slayer and Mecha Slayer. So Draco Slayer, they told us, is going to be 75% magic damage against dragons, and Mecha Slayer is going to be 50%. Now, you know, without human killer, it kind of sucks. Almost everything in this game is human. A lot of the times the bigger fights are human, but I'm not saying this goes without use, obviously. I mean, it has a super high magic stat, gives you a little bit of spirit too to help your mages survive, and it gives you those killers. I love it. Very flexible, very usable. The Trustmaster Award, but I don't think I'd be using an STMR Moogle on it, so there's that. Trustmaster Award, top operative, boost magic and MP by 30%. Magic when equipped with a rod. I do believe they said this was 50% total, so 50% magic as long as you have a rod on, 30% MP, and I think it's 50% true double hand. We're gonna have to wait for the data mine to confirm all this just in case they mess with the numbers. This TMR is outstanding. So it's like this TMR and Aiden's TMR. If you're looking for TMR and an STMR that's great, that you're only hunting on these banners for that, I would recommend using, you know, summoning on these two. Like these two Trustmaster Wards are great, and remember, they're not limited, so you can get them later, but this is fantastic for you guys out there trying to build true double hand mages. And then we look at what he can do. So obviously we can look through this. Quadruple cast is coming in because we see the word quadruple, but he's just going to be a magic damage dealer. And so I know a lot of you guys have Terra now, which she's, you know, she's a little squish, doesn't do the most damage. We're going to be getting CG Dark Fina, Miss Leg Snaky Snake coming out soon. So you really have to pick your poison on which one you really want to be working with. And for me, I need to see you know, the in a closed containment box Zyrus's damage and kind of go against what Fina's going to be pumping out when because she should be very soon. We'll have to wait and see and kind of compare to that. But overall, I absolutely love the design of these characters. I absolutely think it's awesome they took fan favorites because, again, a lot of these units people always talk about. Even to this day, people are using Xon in their parties. A way to give them a new look. I think they did fantastic. Olive looks amazing. But again, this step up summon just not the best. Suspect at best. Really for people out there hunting random rainbows. Not for the people who want to go after these fan favorite units, which is the whole point of this, right? So I don't know why they made it so difficult and wonky and more lapis needing to be spent in order to obtain these units, which I thought they were doing as a favor. But maybe they are. I don't know. You know what I'm saying, I hope. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So next up, we have the quest for the chest. So we're going to be going in there fighting this box. There's going to be a mimic that pops out of it sometimes to beat your ass. So you got to be careful. Looking at the items you can get from this, not the best in my opinion. Like, not the best. They're cool, like decoding goggles. 10 attack of magic, or sorry, 10 defense, attack of magic 20, boost lightning and dark resist 20%. That could become in handy, and enable a decryption program, boost own attack and magic when Dr. Aiden, Agent Olive, Master Xon, or Operative Zyrus is in the party and not KO'd. So it does give you a little bit more of a boost if you have one of those in your team. But it's obviously, I say obviously, but it looks like it should be an accessory. We'll find out. Spy of all trades, another one that looked great at first, but it boosts all these different stats up by 30%. You have to have all these different things equipped to make it work. Not saying it's terrible, especially for new players. Most of these items are always, you know, focused on the new player. So, and then we have Suit Up. Boost HP, excuse me, about 30% when equipped with clothes, and MP about 20% when equipped with a hat. So if you put on the whole suit and the nice little cool slick looking hat, you're gonna have some bonuses here. There's the mimic. We actually got to see it at the Fan Festa. Gonna have to use Demon Killer. But this is the thing I wanted to get down to. These Olive, The normal olive. They gave us the normal olive. So if you have, you know how many olives I have? I have 2 fully STMR'd out one and like 9 other ones. I'm ready for this event, baby. I'm going to be getting so much of this bonus currency in this event summon dungeon. It's going to be absolutely insane. But then, you know, it's not just that. You guys can go down and use your old Xon and your old Zyrus and Aiden as well to be able to get a little bit of a bonus. So I love that. They didn't force us to summon all these banners here as in terms of bonus. So it's really nice they threw that in. They didn't have to, right? They didn't have to. You just put these 4 units at the top and be like, this is the only bonus, you know, have fun. But they didn't. So I think it's pretty interesting and cool they at least give us an option to use old units, so I like that. So overall, there's a ton of stuff happening this week for Black Friday. I just feel like in the past, maybe I'm wrong, Black Friday's kind of been whatever. We have more bundles we haven't seen here that we're going to be able to get our hands on. They do talk about this bundle here, but again, they don't give too much specifics. Like the treasure bundle where you guys are going to get, it looks like 200% TMR move. Oh, I think this is one of the ones they maybe mentioned on the live stream. So they just talk about a bundle here that you guys can get. Again, I'd rather have the bundle in front of me, show the price, and go over its value when I actually know more. It's hype. All these bundles are great. Very excited to see how they're implemented into the game. But we have things for free to play, non-spenders, spenders, whales. The only thing I don't like again is that banner, the way it's working. But I kind of almost talked myself into summoning on it. But maybe I'll just use that 10,000 lapis I may have been looking to use on that banner on that 11 pull instead. That seems pretty sweet too. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below how you feel about all this stuff. And if you're going to be going for the resummon banner, or if you're going to be using the 11 rainbows, I can't wait. I hope you guys get amazing stuff. Thank you again to King of Fighters All-Star for sponsoring this video. And we'll catch you guys in the next one.